Hello.
This is my friend James Fletcher, and today I decided to interview him in English, mainly for the Japanese friends I have who want to watch my videos on YouTube. I appreciate them watching that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so thank you for taking time to make this with me. So looking at my notes, I kind of just want to get my thoughts together about how we met and became friends. So as far as I remember, I was teaching a private English lesson at a rice ball shop. I have a friend who runs an onigiri shop, and during that 1 hour, a lady came in. She didn't exactly interrupt the lesson we were having, but she brought in like, I don't know how to say it, a newspaper or a brochure or like a local Times magazine kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a local publication.
A local publication, yeah. And then we started talking in Japanese and in English, and it turns out she plays guitar like me. So one thing led to another, and I ended up receiving that local publication magazine thing. And I didn't really think about it much, but after I went home, I opened it, looked at it, read all the Japanese, and there was an English column in there. and it took me aback. I was like, holy crap, there's this kind of amazing article here in Toyota City, like who wrote this? And I saw it, and it said like, what did it say? Like, let's English do or something.
Oh, yeah, let's do or something.
Yeah, it was kind of a funny play on like the Japanese English type of thing. I thought that was really clever. And your name wasn't there, so I kind of contacted the lady back. I got her information. I was like, who wrote that? And like, can you tell me who he is or who she is? And she told me that your name. And I looked on Facebook or the internet. I found your art. It's a really good artist here. And then I got into touch with you and started talking about like Tesla, because I think the article at that time was, I can't remember exactly. Maybe it wasn't probably Tesla, but it was some really forward-looking, like futuristic kind of cool stuff, yeah.
Right.
And that's basically my recollection of how we became friends. So, and your name's James, my name's James, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, what a coincidence. It's a small world.
Is Fletcher a common last name?
I think it's reasonably popular. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like Smith or Jones, but it's not the rarest surname either, so
yeah,
I can't give you any statistics though.
yeah, it stands out to me. It's James Fletcher, but anyway, so we share the same name, and one thing led to another. Eventually we met, and the first time we met was so you could come with me to meet my boys.
That's right.
Yep,
that's
Ayato
right.
and Naoto. So I kind of always want to have a friend during these meetings, and luckily you're free and a good person. I really appreciate your time and your kindness to come join me on these.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, it's expedition.
It's fun. It's an experience. It's a good experience.
Well, I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir. But all right, that's, I think, a good enough introduction. So running into the questions, for you, this is an interview. So
okay, interview mode.
Yes. Well, speaking of kids, I have kids in Japan. It's fairly recent for me, about only 1.5 years, but I guess you have kids in Japan too. So can you tell me a little bit about, before your family, I guess, how long had you been doing the Mugen articles, and how did that come about for you?
Oh, I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was a kind of a synchronicity, a lucky chance, because I was teaching English at my friend's green tea cafe in Toyota City.
Okay.
And once a month I would go there to do like a English conversation for her customers.
Right.
And it became popular. And in the same building was this publication company called Mugen Press.
Okay.
And
in the same building, right?
In the same building. And the owner of that company became friends with my friend.
Okay.
And so I was introduced to the owner of Mugen through my friend.
Right.
And we got chatting, and it turned out that we were interested in the same topics.
Yep.
Strange, weird topics such as UFOs and that kind of thing. And then she asked me out of the blue, would I be interested in writing an English article for her publication once a month.
So she asked you directly to do that?
She asked me directly, first time I met her.
That's a cool, I guess she wants some English in there, right?
Yeah, and I said, yeah.
Found the right person.
So that's how it started.
Okay.
Kind of lucky chance.
I see. So that is really, really cool. I can't read my own notes.
I can't read your writing either. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could call it a synchronicity, a lucky coincidence. It also brought us to meeting also, because at the same, not the publication that I received, which had your awesome article in English, but maybe the next or the following one, I asked the same lady who you talked to, I guess, I forgot her name.
Right.
But I asked her if I could put my twins up in there. There's like a one baby picture for every publication, and she did the twins for me. So
oh, great.
That was kind of cool. Yeah, I got to brag
nice
about
lady.
that. Yeah. So how long have you been in Japan? What brought you to Japan? Give me your Japan story in as brief or long as you like.
I'll give you it briefly because
it is long. Yeah.
Quite. But yeah, I've been in Japan for 20 years and
long time,
and I consider it my home now, and I love being in Japan.
Yep.
I've got some very, very close Japanese friends here.
Right.
And we are involved in art collaborations, music, and art because I do art. And
great artist, by the way. Guy, he's amazing.
Thank you. But yeah, so
you gotta check it out. Yeah.
That's something I'm really involved in, and so I've managed to meet some really good, wonderful people here who are artists and musicians.
Mainly in the Nagoya area?
Gifu and Nagoya.
Right.
What's the other place? The castle? I forgot.
Okazaki?
No.
Inuyama?
Inuyama.
Okay,
Thank you.
Inuyama.
How could I forget Inuyama? I love Inuyama. I just forgot the name.
I've never been in the castle though.
So I did a few art festivals there, and I met some wonderful people.
Okay.
And then we ended up doing joint collaborations together. So I'm very much involved in the art scene, and do collaborations with other artists and musicians. So for me, that's really, really fun.
So you're active with friends and meeting people, but you also have 2 kids here in Japan.
I've got 2 grown-up kids.
Yep.
My son is an English teacher, and
Yep.
my daughter works in an office, but she's starting up her own estate business and fashion business.
Dang.
So yeah, they're grown up and working, and I'm kind of growing old, and
I mean, you've not exactly half your life in Japan, but you've lived quite a portion of your life here.
I'd say 20 years of my life have been in Japan, and now whenever I go back to New Zealand, after 2 days, I want to come back to Japan. I feel homesick.
Yeah, I've only gone back to America from here during my 2nd or 3rd year in Japan. Maybe it was my 3rd year, but I went back. I felt the same thing. I felt homesick for Japan. Wow, my heart's here actually.
Yeah. So this is my home. I think maybe it's a destiny. Yeah. But I really, as I say, I've got some really, really close friends here, and I really love living here, and it's.
That was what I was going to ask you for the next question. Even after living in Japan, but for me, being here in Japan 5 years, I still find new things. It's really cool. After 20 years, does that feeling go away, or does it become even better, or do you still think Japan's awesome after 20 years?
I still think Japan's awesome after 20 years, and it'll be
there
awesome 20 years in the future.
Yeah.
But what I noticed is that when I first came to Japan, I think I must have been super excited. Oh, look at that! Wow!
Now it's all normalized.
But now it's sort of normalized. When friends and family visit me, and I take them places, and then I hear them say, "Oh, look at that! And I thought, oh. I didn't notice because I'm so used to it.
And you feel kind of like a Japanese person doing omotenashi for them. It's like you understand that feeling that Japanese people want to welcome foreigners and really show them the cool person.
You do. You want to show them your country. I want to show them my country. So
right. Okay.
So I do. I love to show them around. There's some beautiful places around Toyota, Asuke, Koranke.
Okay, definitely.
Asahi. You don't have to go far. And honestly, there's some real power spots.
In Toyota even, there's a lot of countryside. Living here is great. Japan's a beautiful country. And so I guess we're almost at 10 minutes now. So Japan's great. Would you say there are any big challenges that you face or that don't really go away, or even being a father in Japan? Are there any challenges in any regard, respect?
Oh, there are always challenges, but life is good basically, and challenges make it more interesting, I guess. And it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to get challenges.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great opportunity living in a foreign country, because you learn more about your own culture, and it makes you question your own core values, I think.
It makes you reevaluate a lot.
Makes you think, oh wow, they've got a better way of doing things, and in some cases, so it's a real eye opener, and it's a good education. Every day is exciting.
Okay, super. I agree for the most part. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Last question. Okay, so your art is very science fiction-ish. It's a lot, not all over the place, but there's a lot of Tesla future. Like, you kind of pack a message into it, like a future that you want to see. It seems like, but is there what deep meaning is involved in your art, and what message are you trying to send through it?
Ah, that's a really interesting question. Thank you for asking.
Yep.
Basically, what I want to do is I want to imagine the future, because it's really fun to do and very difficult.
Yep.
Because anyone who tries to imagine the future is proven wrong. People in the 18th century tried to paint what the world in 1970 would look like. They got it completely wrong.
A lot of sci-fi books say like Mars in 2020 or something.
Yeah,
but it's not happening yet.
It's really fun to imagine the future, and what I want to do is I want to imagine a very positive future, a future where we have what I call UFO technology, that's clean, free, abundant energy, and also space travel, and also contact with our ET neighbors.
Elon Musk fan.
Yeah. And so what I try and do in my artwork, I have a kind of a theme. I imagine my great granddaughter's world in 100 years' time.
Yeah.
And so she's my muse. I imagine the house that she lives in, the things that she sees when she travels, the vehicles that they use, and I try and visualize that very clearly. So what I do.
Your art paints a beautiful picture of it.
Thank you. So I've got lots of UFO kind of spaceships where people can choose to live in a house, or they can choose to live in a mobile house which can move anywhere.
There's a lot of talk of like, there's no more poverty, no more war, no more money.
Like Star Trek, very, very similar to Star Trek, and no passports. We're living in a post-scarcity future where we don't have money, we don't have war, we don't have poverty, we have abundant, clean energy. We can get all the resources from the moon and from asteroids. We don't have to destroy the Earth. The Earth basically becomes like a nature preserve, free for everybody to use.
It seems like we could be going in that direction with SpaceX and stuff, but so are we going to get there? How long is it going to take? And to wrap it up really quick.
Yeah, not with SpaceX technology, but with UFO technology we'll do it. Cool. But yeah, the future, we have to imagine it before we can create it. We're co-creators of our own reality, and so we have to imagine it first, and then we create it. So that's it really. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you for talking. I appreciate it. Give it a
my
handshake.
pleasure.
Alrighty, well, I'm glad I got the video with Mr. James Fletcher. I told him earlier my English is getting worse the more I speak Japanese. So.
And I must say I love listening to your guitar playing on Facebook as well. So, awesome musician. And,
no, not yet, but
really interesting, great guy. So thank you too.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll say bye.
Cheers. Bye. Japanese thing.
Sayonara.